Hello students, standard 9, subject social science, and you know that we were discussed about chapter number 8, framing of constitutions and its features. Now before start today's sessions, we'll discuss about that what we have did in the last video, because if we revise it, so we can make a link between this today's topic and what we have done in the last videos. So first of all, we just take a glance on that what we have done. So in the last we discussed about the one huge questions 4 marks basic features of the constitution. In that I inform you also that at that time also the features of the constitution is total 14. It is not possible to take the all 14 features, or you can say of the constitution in one video. So that is why we have divided that 14 features into 3 parts. In video number 1, we talk about basic features of the constitution in point number 1, 2, 3, 4. Now today onwards we will talk about 5, 6, 7, 8, and remaining 9 to 14 we will discuss in the video number 3. So first of all, what we have done in the first point, basic features of the constitutions. And you know that our constitution was written on passed on the 26th November 1949. It was implemented on 26th January 1950. Understood? And then we have started the first point, written document. Except 2 countries in the world, along with India, all the countries will be having their constitution in the written format. Understood? Only 2 countries. You must have to remember the name of these 2 countries are that Britain and Israel, and that is why in our country also we make the Constituent Assembly, those who are drafting the constitution, and finally they will draft the constitution. And you know that the chairman of the drafting committee is Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. After that, in second point we discuss about that size of the constitutions. Okay, how long, how detailed, how broad our constitution of India is. So in that we discuss about the Indian constitution is divided into 22 sections. Now you think about that, sir, why this constitution is too long and it will be divided into 22 sections? Why? Understood? In that total 395 articles and 8 appendices will be there. But in that also we have discussed that not total 8, now 12 appendices will be included in our constitution. So the question arises that, sir, why our constitution is too long in the entire world? What is the speciality of our constitution? So we can say that it comprises of or the provisions for state administrations and state interrelations, fundamental rights, principles of politics, you can say judiciary, election commission, then government institution, and scheduled caste, deprived groups, minorities. These all things are included in our constitution. That is why you can say that our constitution is one of the detailed and broadened part of our country. Third one is that, or third features of the constitution is that single citizenship. In our country, you know that if you are living in any state, either you are living in Punjab, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, doesn't matter, you will be considered as the citizen of India. But there is a different thing in America. You know that in United States of America, that people will be getting 2 citizenship, one for the United States of America and one for the particular state. For example, in our country, if we given a 2 citizenship, that one citizen of India and one is a, you can say, particular state for Gujarat, we can say, but that isn't allowed in our constitution. We are considered only single citizenship. Understood? And the fourth one and detailed one is that the center with a strong federal structure. You know that our countries are too large. Understood? And that is why the word union is added in the constitution, but nowhere in the constitution is mentioned that India is a union of state. Understood? India is considered as that union of states. It means so many states together and form the India. But for the smooth functioning or the smooth administration, that would be government is divided, central government and state government. Understood? and what are the works or what are the administrations work carried out by the different government, that is already mentioned. But there would be a 3 list which shows that the government has to you can say perform their role in different way. In the first one is that union list. Union in the sense same way we can say central government. Understood? So here we can say that union list comprising of 97 subjects and subjects of national importance like defense, foreign affairs, atomic energy, banking, railway, communications. So these all total 97 subjects are there on which the central government can pass the law. Second one is that state list. Now the state list comprises of 66 subjects and these subjects are, or you can say the state government can pass the law. Which subjects are total 66, but which subjects are included in that? The state government institutions, agriculture and irrigation, health and interstate and commerce are included. The last one is concurrent list. What is concurrent list? We understood, sir. Union list, it means central government, and state list means state government. Now concurrent list means here both the governments together, central as well as state government together can pass the law, that is called concurrent list, and it has total you can say 47 subjects. The subjects like criminal and civil procedure, marriage and divorce, education and economic planning, trade, etc. will be there. So students, up to that we have discussed in our last video. So we have done our revision portion. So today you can see the same questions will be going on. Basic features of constitution, that is the 4 marks question. Total 14 point is there, but today we start from the 5th onward. Unified arrangement during crisis. Unified, you can say unified arrangement during crisis. Now you know that student, crisis, it's called katokati. Understood? So many times you know how these words are crisis. It means you know that it's one kind of provisions of emergency crisis, or you can say emergencies. Understood? These words we are using in our day-to-day life so many times. Crisis, emergencies. Understood? So total 3 kinds of emergencies provisions are mentioned in our constitutions. Total 3 kinds. First one is that national emergency. Now you just think about that. Sir, what is national emergency? Where it was declared? Understood? So national emergency can be declared at the time of war, external attack, or armed rebellion. National emergency means throughout the nation the emergency is declared by the President of India. But when it will happen? When any war with our country with other countries, when any external attack of another country to our country, or when any rebellion, interstate rebellion will be taken out, at that time national emergency can be declared. So get the students, first one. Now second one is about that you can say constitutional emergency. Okay, now what is constitutional emergency? When it was declared? So emergency. Now the constitutional emergency was declared when due to law and order breakdown, the state cannot function according to the constitution. So constitutional emergency is declared in particular state. For example, in particular state, the law was breakdown, the state is out of control. Understood? The governor or CM cannot handle the positions. At that time, we can say constitutional emergency is declared by the president. Now, 2 emergency we have discussed. The third one is that we can say that financial emergency. Now students, here we have one thing is that due to increasing of prices, or the prices are not controlled at that time, the value of the monetary is erosion. So financial emergency was declared by the President of India. So here students we have discussed three emergencies. Understood national emergency, understood when any external attack, war, rebellion taken out, at that time the President of India declared the national emergency throughout the country. Constitutional emergency, when any, so due to breakdown of law and order, the state cannot function according to the constitution, the state cannot, you can say, handle the situations at that time, constitutional emergency was declared. And the financial emergency means when the monetary, or you can say prices increasing and monetary value was erosion, so at that time financial emergency was declared. Now number 6, parliamentary system. Do you know what is the parliament? We know that the parliament, understood. So parliamentary system. Now students, here you just see that, you know that the parliament, understood, each and every decisions are, you can say, revised, shown or discussed, and finally the decision is taken. Understood? For example, we can say the president not has power to take the decision himself only. No doubt he is taking the decision, but that decision should be discussed in the parliament. And you know that in parliament there are two houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So that is why we can say our parliament is a bicameral, means two houses. So I will write over here bicameral. It means two houses. Which are the two houses? You can say Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. The upper house of the parliament is called Rajya Sabha. So I will write here upper and here lower. So that is one more point, is that upper house is known as Rajya Sabha, lower house is known as Lok Sabha. Now students, you heard so many times from your father that there is a Lok Sabha election in your village or in your city or town. Now, whenever you heard that there is an election of Rajya Sabha, no at all. Why? Because we know that the Rajya Sabha is elections carried out by the member of the Rajya Sabha only. Now students, next question is that we know that there are two persons are too much important in our country. The government is carried out on the name of president at the union and the governor in the state. Actually, you know that the government carried out the work under the name of president at the union level, or you can say central level. Understood? Because each and every work should be carried out in the name of president. President is, that is why considered the, you can say, constitutional head of our country. The first citizen of our country is also president. In the same way, in particular state, the governor, actually the work was carried out at the state level by the, in the name of governor. Next one, but actual administration work was carried out by PM, it means Prime Minister. Here I will write in short form so you can understand PM and CM. But I will write in detail also you can understand. Prime Minister, it means PM and CM at union level and here state level. You know that actual administration work was carried out by Prime Minister at the union level, it means state, central level, and at the state level, Chief Minister. You know that if you ask the question to any particular students that have you seen president? Say no. Why? Because we are not familiar with the president generally. Because he is the actual head of the country. He is not carried out, you can say, discussed with the public directly. So that actual administration was carried out by the Prime Minister at the central level. Same way, CM also. For example, if you ask the name of the, you can say, governor of Gujarat, hardly any 2% or 5% people are able to give answer. Who is the governor of Gujarat? You know the students, actually right now, Acharya Devvrat is the governor of Gujarat. Understood? Now, CM, we all know that the CM is Vijay Rupani. Understood? Vijay Bhai Rupani is our CM or Chief Minister. In the same way, when you ask about the president, so many students are not knowing also about that who is the president of India. Understood? But if you say that who is the prime minister of India, then directly we say that Sir Narendra Modi. That is the good thing. We are knowing about these two persons well. Why? Because you know that in school what happened? The principal is not taking the subject in each and every class. Understood? So it might be happen that the principal is not familiar with the particular students with their name. Understood? But the teacher is knowing the particular student with their name because they will be having the familiarity. Understood? That is why we are knowing the PM and CM instead of president and governor. Get the point, students? Yes, fine. Next one. Now, in Rajya Sabha, total 250 members is there, but 238 members is elected by the you can say standing committee, and 12 people is elected by, or you can say selected by president, those who are well expert in their field. Understood? Because the Rajya Sabha is the, you know that, the permanent house. Understood? That never dissolved. Understood? So these 12 people, why the president elected? These 12 people, because that 12 people are, you can say, elected those who will be having the name and fame, and they were well expert in their field. For example, right now Sachin Tendulkar is the member of Rajya Sabha. Rekha, Bollywood actress is also the member of Rajya Sabha. So those who are well expert in their field, they are nominated for the name of this Rajya Sabha. And should you know that the head of the Rajya Sabha, it means those who lead the Rajya Sabha, that is the also called as the Vice President of India. Now the term and duration of Rajya Sabha is 6 years. The term and duration of Rajya Sabha is 6 years, and for Lok Sabha it is 5 years. And here Lok Sabha. Now the tenure of the Rajya Sabha member is 6 years, and for Lok Sabha only 5 years. After they were retired. But in Rajya Sabha there is a rule: after every 2 years, that you can say 1/3 people, or you can say members, were, you can say, rejected. It means given or listed, and new members was elected. So here the second parliamentary system also we have discussed. Now students, we will move towards the number 7, independent and impartial judiciary. Now students, our next topic is independent and impartial judiciary. You know that the word judiciary. So what is independent and impartial? Okay, judiciary means Nyayatantra. In Gujarati it is called Nyayatantra. You know that in our country, in our judiciary, that form in such a way that by seeing this judicial system, we can say that India is one of the good country that crime ratio should be must have to be a 0. Understood? Judiciary, impartial. Judiciary never be a partial towards any particular person, party or religion. And independent. That is called independent. You know that the judge of the Supreme Court, High Court, District Court, Taluka Court, subordinate courts, okay, they are independent to give any judgment. Understood? And they must have to be independent. Otherwise, if you put a restriction over them, understood? So they should not function according to their level. That is the most important thing. And to make our judiciary well planned in our country, you know that the constitution has provided for the establishment and independent and impartial judiciary. There is a Supreme Court is at the top. Supreme Court is at the top. Then what is there? We can find that particular high courts in particular state. It may be happen that a particular state will be having their own high court, but for example, 2 or more states will be having their common high court also. For example, Punjab and Haryana, they will be having their common high courts. Even the eastern states, 7 states will be having their, you can say, common high courts. It may be happen sometimes. So, and then after at district level, district court is there. District level, district court, and then taluka level, taluka court. Understood? Near Masat crossing, whatever the nearby that right hand or left hand side, you just observe that Nyay Mandir written is that it's a taluka court of Borsar taluka that is located in Borsar. So after this, subordinate courts are also there, and many other courts, fast track court, quota courts. The courts, different kinds of courts are there. But the most important thing is that the decision of the Supreme Court is binding to all the courts. It means that whatever the decision is given by the lower courts, it should be reviewed. Understood? It should be copied also. It means same decision will be given by the Supreme Court. Either it may be a more also or less also. It depends on Supreme Court. But the decision of the Supreme Court must be a binding to all the courts of our country. And that is why you know that the Supreme Court is the protector and guardian of the constitutions. You know that the Supreme Court is considered as the protector, or you can say guardian of the constitutions. Why? Because you know that Supreme Court solve the cases which is like a burning issues of the our country. You know that so many cases are there in our country which held in the particular state or district, but it directly turned towards the Supreme Court. Why? Because due to that cases, the national unity and integrity should not be disturbed. That is why the Supreme Court solve these cases. So this is the, you can say, one kind of channel which made in our country, that is the Supreme Court at the top, High Court is at the state level, District Court at the district level, and Taluka Court at the Taluka level. But the question arises that sir, something is happening in Taluka, there should be challenge in the High Court. Yes, if the decision is given by the Taluka Court, and if the petitioner or the, you can say, criminal should not be happy with the decisions given by the Taluka Court, so it should be challenged into the one step ahead. It means it should be challenged to the District Court, not to High Court directly. Understood? And whatever the decision, for example, the Taluka Court has given the decision of like the 10 years punishment, District Court given as 8 years, High Court has given 15 years. So Supreme Court is given whatever the decision is given by them also, or even more than that also. It depends on the particular case. Now after that, the next one is amendments in Constitution. Number 8 point is that amendments in the Constitution. Number 8. Amendment in Constitution. Now students, amendment means first of all changes. Amendments means changes. You know that compared to the other countries' constitution, Constitution of India is dynamic. Constitution can be amended and as and when required. It means it can be changed also when and as and required. But there are certain provisions for that. We must have to follow that provisions. Otherwise, you cannot change the constitution which is written in our constitution. So how can we change, or how can we make amendment in the constitution? So there are 3 ways in that we can make the amendments in the constitution. Now first one is that amendment can be made by simple majority. Simple majority. Simple majority in the sense, the members in the parliament should sit together and they take the decision. Understood? And whatever the majority people say, that should be followed. That is called simple majority. And then the amendment, or you can say changes, can be happen in the constitutions. Now, in some of the cases that we require 2/3 majority. It means some cases what happen, whenever the majority will there, but 2/3 is required majority of member present and voting. And apart from this, that 2/3, even the 50% state. Now I will explain what is the 50%. First of all, you can say concerning the union state relations, the special majority, that is 2/3, and the concern not less than 50% of the state legislature is required. It means the constitution's simple majority in the parliament can bring change in the amendments of the constitution. That's why the constitution is known as the most inconstant and flexible document, but at certain cases it is not amended by simple majority. Without any majority consent of states is not amendable. Then to the mixture of both makes the constitution. It means what happened in some cases what happened, directly with the help of simple majority the amendments can be happen. Okay, if it not make any issues in our country. But in some portion what happens is that it requires this special majority 2/3. It must require 2/3 members. It means out of 2% people are agree with that statement or changes. And this is 2/3 plus 50% state is required whenever the talking about inter-union state relations. Then only amendment can be changed. Now students, we have completed our today's topic, that basic features of the constitution. In first video we talk about point number 1 to 4. Today we talk about 5 to 8 and remaining 9 to 14 we will discuss in the last video. But whatever we have discussed that you got in the form of worksheet. So complete your worksheet, write down in your notebooks and send the PDF. It means whatever the assignment given in the worksheet should be right, and send the PDF in the regular given time limit. Thank you students.